whether he plans to retire or continue competing in strongman events.
I wish, dude. My major's being useless. I'm amazing at that. Bro, that's so complicated. Okay, okay. Okay. To token heading. How do you make a degree symbol? Alt plus 0176. Alt plus 0176. How do you do that? $2,000 feet. Doesn't work for me though. 330 knots. Turn right to Doctor. To Doctor. 4,000 feet. Turn right to Doc Ra. To Doc Ra. 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Abvib. To Atmim. 10,000 feet. Turn right to Asuna. Asuna. Dude, Asuna sounds sick. I can't believe Changi Airport has a checkpoint. It's called Asuna. I definitely need to become a Changi Airport pilot now, dude. Fuck me. That's right. What's that name? Bobug. Okay. Da. From Arama. 250 knots. Oh shit, dude. To Bobag. 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left. We have to check the bob. Turn left to Bokip. Turn left to Bokip. 6,000 feet. To Samco. 4,000 feet. 190 knots. Bro, there's no way I'm gonna learn that. That is insane. How does anybody going for a cadet interview know this stuff? There's no way anybody could give this answer, dude. Surely? And who would know this? Unless you're already working at Changi Airport, how would you know this stuff? Why did the pilot go to school? I don't know. Why did the pilot go to school? That is just lame, bro. That's terrible. It's horrible. Where are you finding these lame jokes from, dude? Damn. Bro, you're out for blood today. Hopefully soon, yeah.
Prep sunset.
Okay. 2,500. Get on.
What is FDAP?
Flaps 2. Flaps 2.
Ah. Yeah, maybe they will cross. It would be funny if they did. But it's very hard for me to get in, so.
Gears down, pressure checked. Flaps 2 set.
Flaps 3.
Yeah, God gamer, but dog human, apparently.
Flaps 2 set.
Flaps 4. It's for space only landing lights, go.
Yep. Flaps full set.
6 for 2 November, 330 degrees 5 knots, runway 29, clear to land, RVR 700 meters, 600 meters and 700 meters.
Runway 29, clear land, Austrian 6 for 2 November.
November check flaps full, FCU set. Final check please.
FC set, final check completed.
Ja, tailwind den har vi nicht. So stark eingeschätzt. 1000 above ground established. Four.
400 feet, LA's coast checked.
Land cat 3 dual. 300. 200. Approach lights.
Check.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Retard. I can't take this.
40, 30, 20, 10. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Spoilers extended, reverse green.
I'm trying out Singapore and overseas programs. I just want to get into a program. Singapore would make the most sense because I live here. But if I have no other choice and opportunity overseas, then I'll try that. But I can only do it in Europe and Singapore because of right to work and live. Are you already in? Because for me it might still take a long time if ever, man. You're already in, nice. Congrats. I mean, I already had an interview. And it didn't quite work out that one at that time. So hopefully the next one is gonna be better for me. I don't even know how much this preparation is gonna help me here, to be honest. Yeah, but the problem is I'm a jobless Caucasian with pretty weak academic background, at least for Singaporeans, and my education isn't really accredited here. So to them, it looks like I'm just a Caucasian with no skills and no knowledge and no anything, you know. So I'm just trying. I'm trying to figure out what to do to be able to convince them that I'm worth something. Yeah, it's hard, man. You know what the problem is? So, at least that's my experience. I don't know if it's true or not. But, So as a white guy that works in Singapore, you're typically very privileged, right? Like you come from a probably good company in, I don't know, Europe or America. They send you over to work in Singapore, so you're considered like to be really privileged and, you know, high up worker there. But for someone like me that isn't here because of a company, that doesn't have, you know, a master's degree or anything like that, I feel this country is not very friendly towards me. And like nobody's really trying to you know, understand what kind of value I could bring. Because all I am to them is a video gamer that doesn't do anything else or doesn't know anything else. So it's quite tough to find my footing, to be honest. But at the same time, I'm also kind of stuck here because I own a house here. So leaving is not really an option. It's rough, bro. The thing is, as a PR, I'm not allowed to rent out the house. Only citizens are allowed to rent out. PR is not allowed to rent out the house. You know what the issue is? Like, okay, imagine you're an interviewer, right? So, imagine you're an interviewer and you interview me, okay? So, my resume, obviously, I have my education done, but that's like over 12 years ago. I've basically been a full-time gamer. At which time I obviously didn't, you know, have any degree or diploma or anything. And I have zero flying experience. Okay? Then imagine you ask me some technical questions about flying because you're curious what I know or don't know. And then I answer questions somewhat accurately or maybe even in depth. Okay? What do you think as an interviewer when that happens? Because probably what you would think is that I'm like a know-all trying to, you know, impress. No, that's the thing. It's either that, right? They're like, oh wow, you must be really interested in this because you're self-studying so much. Or it could go the other way, and they're like, oh, this guy is acting like a know-all, doesn't even have any experience, he's talking like he knows everything, you know? Because I'm giving like engaged, long answers. Because, again, imagine I have no credentials, right? Basically, got my education done over a decade ago, nothing to show for it after, no experience. But suddenly I answer questions really in depth. Are you objectively gonna think that I'm really interested? Or are you gonna think, oh, this guy wants to show off and impress? Because it's not wrong either way. I want to impress you because I have nothing else to show for myself. That's why I want to impress you with the knowledge that I learned by myself from self-study. Because otherwise, why would you ever want to hire me? Or give me a chance at this, you know? So in a way, it's not wrong if you say, I want to impress you, and I want to stand out, and things like that. But I feel if I don't do that, I don't have any chance to begin with. Because I have nothing. If that makes sense. It's like a hard course to navigate for me. But what do you mean on how you impress? Like, what kind of... What is a cocky way to impress, though, for example? Okay. Okay? Purely hypothetically again, alright? Let's say... Here. You asked me this question, right? Explain the purpose of a transponder and squawking ident, right? And I give you the answer I wrote here. A transponder is a device that sends a unique identification code, a squawk code, to the ATC radar. When you squawk ident, you use a function on transponder that shows ATC clearly which aircraft it came from, for identification purposes. Okay, you answer like this. What are you gonna think? Because how can you show cockiness in an answer like this? Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a nerd. Like, I muted myself. You also have to remember, all the knowledge that I have is self-learned, so it's very... I'm trying to be as complete as possible, you know? So the answers I give will be very different from a person that actually knows what he's talking about. Because if a person knows what he's talking about, they're gonna sound much more relaxed about it, you know? I sound like a complete robot. Like, I just learned the stuff by heart. Which is not wrong, I did. But that's because I'm self-studying. And if I self-study, I want to self-study the proper way to, like, learn the small details as well, you know? And if you learn the way I learn right now, it's very hard to give an answer that doesn't sound robotic. Because that's how you learn it, right? Or that's how I'm learning it right now. Because I have no other way of learning it. So I feel I'm always gonna sound like... I don't know, what do you say again? Like cocky or nerd or somebody that wants to know everything. Because like I don't even know what else to do. You know, like I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not like, if you tell me I'm wrong, I'm not gonna say no, I think I'm right. I'm not gonna do that. But the way I answer questions will be very superficial, in like a kind of robotic AI sounding way. Because that's basically like the most complete answer, you know. No, I'm serious. Like, what else can I even do? Like, I'm asking for serious advice here, because I'm really not sure how else to articulate myself. Then why do they have interviews if they don't care? But what do you mean by stress test me? Like, okay. I just wanna reiterate basically what happened, okay? So in my last interview, as I said, I have zero idea or like zero experience in aviation, right? But I was barraged with like 50 minutes of pure technical questions. And I feel like I did quite well there. You know, like I didn't crumble under pressure. I feel like I wasn't cocky. I feel like it was a nice back and forth between me and the interviewer. But obviously that wasn't enough. You know? So that's what I'm saying. What I'm doing now, is it actually going to help me or not? Because again, I don't know what else will help me if what I'm doing now doesn't. Like, I'm really trying to show that it is not a mistake to trust in me and give me a chance, you know? And I don't know a good way of doing so. Like, for me as a person in general, like, I have a high tolerance. I'm very patient. Like, I don't lose my cool pretty much ever, even in arguments or discussions or anything like that. Stress doesn't really get to me. You know, like whatever stressful situation it might be, like I'm gonna keep my calm and do things properly. But how do you show all that in a short interview? You know? How do you do that? I mean, there's a reason I'm a god gamer. Runway condition, pilot skill, wind condition. Weather. Wind / weather condition. What do you mean by eagerly answering their questions? What does eagerly answering a question mean? If you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer the question. And if I don't know the answer to your question, I'll say I don't know the answer to that, sorry. I mean, of course, like, okay, so, again, for example, let's say you ask me any question here, right? Explain what is a stall and how it occurs. Right? You ask me this question. I'm not gonna, as soon as you, because I already know what the question is gonna be, right? As soon as it says stall, I already know what the question is. But I'm not gonna be like, as soon as he stops this question, I'll be like, oh, stall is this and this happens. I wouldn't do that. I would be like, okay, I would like think a bit. You know, make sure that I have a proper answer crafted in my head, and then answer. But that's what I mean by being level-headed. You know, like that is just the norm for me, anyway. Like, I don't like to rush. I don't like to make things too fast. I want to move things at a good pace, you know? Not too fast, not too slow. Because I feel like I could probably, obviously blurt out the answer, but it sounds like you're full of shit, basically. You know? Even if you might know, you don't know how to articulate yourself. And that could be seen as a problem. But as I said, in general, I feel like I'm quite decent at articulating myself. I hope. You never know, because you're not recording yourself, you know? But generally, when I think about myself, I feel I'm quite level-headed. I would like to believe so, at least. Hopefully I'm not wrong there. But yeah, if you have any advice or tips, man, I'd be happy, obliged, in fact, to hear them. Because, as I said, I just want to get my journey started. Because I know for a fact that if I get a chance, I'm not going to waste it. Okay, those are all the questions on that website for this portion, at least. There's a ton of other portions, though. I'm gonna sort of have to craft my own ideas from here on out. Okay, let's restart these questions real quick. How do pilots know the location of the aircraft? The GPS gives the most accurate reading. If ATC is in the vicinity and you're in radar range, they can help you locate your airplane. And the IRS is another way of locating or making locating the aircraft easier. Initial reference system, which gets its data from other referential data like the GPS and other navigational inputs. Should an aircraft lose its GPS capabilities, how do pilots fly the aircraft? If GPS is unavailable, more traditional method like VOR or very high frequency radio beacons become more important, or physical landmarks and visual flying in general. And the potential usage of an INS in inertial navigation system. Through the usage of an inertial navigation system, the aircraft could also be navigated without GPS. The inertial navigation system gets its measurements and data from 3 gyroscopes and 3 accelerometers, which are mounted on the 3 axes of the airplane, and they will give you information such as approximate location of the aircraft, speed and altitude of the aircraft. I mean, you already know what that means, bro. I didn't make it. You know, there's no way. So I have to prepare for the next one. That's what I'm doing right now. Or trying to, at least. Explain what a stall is and how it occurs. Sorry about that. A stall occurs when an aircraft exceeds or reaches the critical angle of attack. And when a stall occurs, the wings basically don't create enough lift to keep the aircraft airborne. What is a stick shaker? A stick shaker is a mechanical device on an aircraft that will vibrate the side stick or control yoke and alert the pilot of an incoming or impending stall as a warning, basically. Give an example of a standard instrument departure, standard terminal arrival, star of Singapore Changi. How are you even supposed to remember this, dude? Tokim heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet to, was it Doctor? Oh, it was Doctor. Turn right, Doctor, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dogra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot, and then right to Abvip. Turn right to Agrot, turn right to... How would you even answer that? Like, imagine they asked you this question in an interview. And you're like, Tokim heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet to Dogra. You know? Yeah, but you can't really prepare for hypothetical questions, you know? Like, you can just be as prepared as possible for as many situations as possible, but you can't be prepared for the unknown. To Tokim heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet to Dokta. Turn right to Dokta. 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dogra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Abvip. To Atmim, 10,000 feet. Turn right to Asuna. Tokim, heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet to Dokta. Turn right to Dokta, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dogra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Abvip, or Agrot. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Abvip. Turn right to Admim, 10,000 feet. And turn right to Asuna. No, from Abvip to Admim is straight. Yeah, but it's very difficult, you know, because the interview is generally very short. And okay, you probably weren't here when I said this, but imagine I show up to your interview, okay? If you don't know what esports is, you're not gonna give me a proper shot because you think I'm uneducated. I finished my education in 2013, so I haven't furthered my education and have nothing to show for it. To you, I'm just some uneducated gamer that is basically just, you know, like a dude that doesn't have any skills or any knowledge about anything. Tokim, heading 23, 2,000 feet to turn right to Dokta, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dogra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Abvip. To Admim. Turn right to Asuna, 10,000 feet. Star Arama, 250 knots to Bobak, 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left to Bokip, 6,000 feet. Samko, 4,000 feet, 190 knots. Standard instrument departure. To Tokim, heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet to Dokta. Turn right to Dokta, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dogra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot. Turn right to Agvip. To Admim, 10,000 feet. And turn right to Asuna. From Arama to Arama, 250 knots. 250 knots, yeah. From Arama, 250 knots to Bobag, 220 knots. 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left to somewhere. Bokip, 6,000 feet to Samko, 4,390 knots. That's gonna be tough. ILS stands for Instrument Landing System. What is an instrument landing system? An instrument landing system. An instrument landing system is a navigational system on an aircraft that receives signals from two runway antennas. The glide slope, which gives you the lateral. Which gives the instruments the lateral guidance, and the localizer antenna, which gives the aircraft the vertical guidance, and it is portrayed on the instrument panel by two needles, or it is represented by two needles. Side slope gives vertical guidance. Local ladder gives lateral guidance. I think I said it the other way around. Explain the purpose of a transponder and squawking ident. A transponder is a device on an aircraft that sends out a unique code, the squawk code, for identification purposes, and squawking ident emphasizes or clearly shows the aircraft that squawked ident to ATC. Explain what is traffic control avoidance system TCAS and how does it work. TCAS is an aircraft system that works independent from ATC, and its purpose is, or rather it shows the location of multiple aircraft via their transponders, and if mid-air collision is imminent, it will give verbal and visual warnings to the pilot. It's basically meant as a last line of defense to avoid collisions. Hello? How are you, my friend? I haven't talked to you in a while. We should definitely rectify that. I'm so sorry I haven't kept in touch. I've been kind of out of this world mentally. Oh, I hope you have been good. I hope you have been good and well. What is turbulence? What creates it? How do we avoid or minimize it? Turbulence makes the aircraft shake and bump. It is created by irregular airspeeds, irregular air movements that are often caused by bad weather, mountainous terrain, temperature variations, etc. And the way to minimize it is to look at the weather radar, locate the potential area of turbulence, and try to fly around it. What are the factors behind some landings being smooth with other landings being more rough? It's the runway condition plays a part, the pilot skill plays a part, as well as the weather and wind conditions play a part as well. And I guess the aircraft also. Aircraft. What are various types of air traffic controller ATC frequency test airports? We have the common traffic advisory frequency, which is a frequency that is found at airports with no control tower or an unmanned control tower, and allows pilots to communicate with each other to self-announce their location and intentions and whatnot. You have the ground frequency, which is used for communication purposes between ATC and grounded aircraft. And you have the airband frequencies, which are used for communication between airborne aircraft and ATC. To Tokim, 23-degree heading, 2,000 feet. How many knots was it? 220 knots? 230 knots. 230 knots to Doctor 4,000 feet. Turn right to Doctor, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Doc Ra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrot. And then turn right to Abvip. From Abvip to Admim, 10,000 feet. And turn right to Asuna. The standard terminal arrival procedure for Changi Airport is Aram. From Aram, 10,000 feet, 250 knots. Turn left to somewhere. Bobak. No, to Bobak, 10,000, you're right. Aram is further out than to Bobak. And from Bobak, you turn left into, I don't know, Bokip. Bobak, Arama, Bobak, Bokip, Samko. Bro, there's no connection, man. It's so hard to remember these things, bro. Arama, 250 knots. To Bobak, 10,000 feet. 220 knots. Arama, 250 knots. To Bobak, 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left to Bokip. To Bokip, 6,000 feet. To Namco. To Samco, 4,000 feet. 190 knots. Bruh. From Arama, 250 knots to Bobak, 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left to Bokip, 6,000 feet, 220 knots. No, you don't change the speed. Bobak changes the speed. Bokip. Okay. To Bokip, 6,000 feet. To Samco, 4,000 feet, 190 knots. From Arama. Okay. From Arama, 250 knots. To Bobak, 220 knots, 10,000 feet. Turn left to Bokip, 6,000 feet. Turn left to Samco. Bokip to Samco, 4,000 feet, 190 knots. Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, it's just very hard because here's the thing. Again, I'm learning this as somebody that has zero flying experience. So I don't know what these codes stand for, and I probably won't know. Like, imagine they ask me this question and I answer it in this detail, okay? They'll be like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know? Like, what is he? Like, what's wrong with him? You know? And they might hire me on the spot, or they might kick me out on the spot because it's freaky. Like, who would know this stuff? Imagine you have zero air flying experience and you know this stuff. Because you, like, bang it into your own head. To Tokim, heading 23 degrees, 2,000 feet. Turn right to... how many knots? 220 knots, I think. 230 knots. Man. Tokim, 23, heading 23 degrees. 2,000 feet, 230 knots. Turn right to Dokta, 4,000 feet. Turn right to Dog Ra, 6,000 feet. Turn right to Agrod. Turn right to Akip, I think. No, it's Bokip. And the other one, Akip. What was it? Abvib. Blah. Turn right to Abvib to Atmim, 10,000 feet. And turn right to Asuna. Abvib, Bokip. I mean, the thing is, when you're flying the plane, you have a piece of paper in front of you, or maybe the instruments show it, but you see all this. You don't need to memorize all this stuff. Like, I actually have to memorize it now, and it's grilling my brain, bro. Ah, I mean, what does it mean when they ask for give an example? What I'm doing right now is giving an example, right? How else would you give an example of that? Okay, one portion of the questions is pretty done, I'd say. What does correct format mean? The only thing I know about these checkpoints is that they have 5 letters to it. But imagine, like, there's like some random dude, he's like, Nabat 2,000 feet to Nokim 4,000 feet, 230 knots to Abwav 6,000 feet, turn left to Kobub. They were like, the fuck's he doing? Holy shit, dude. They'll probably make their day, man. Dude, they're gonna mega hack IRL. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, dude. Like, and imagine you sound really serious while you're saying it too, you know? Like, you're trying to be super serious because it's like a life-changing interview, and you say all these random things, and they'll be like, alright. Okay. Tokim heading 23 degrees. 230 knots. 2,000 feet. Tokim heading 23 degrees. 2,000 feet, 230 knots. Turn right to Dokta 4,000 feet, turn right to Dogra 6,000 feet, turn right to Agrod, and turn right to Agvip to Admim 10,000 feet, 250 knots, turn right to Asuna. It's literally only right turns, bro. From Arama, 250 knots. To Bobak, 10,000 feet, 220 knots. Turn left to Bokip. 6,000 feet. To Samco. 4,000 feet, 190 knots. What is an instrument landing system? Instrument landing system is a navigational system on an aircraft, which is represented by 2 needles on it. And it receives the signals of 2 localizer antennas on the runway. The first one is the glide slope antenna, which gives you the vertical guidance. And the other is the localizer antenna, which gives you the vertical guidance. Bro, my brain is literally overflowing with power right now. And the problem is, I have to go overseas soon for a week, and I'll probably forget everything. Because I'm just shoving everything into my brain right now. Like an absolute animal. I mean, the thing is, most of the things that I'm trying to learn, I do read up about them or research about them, which is why this section here has taken me, like these 64 questions have taken me roughly a week. Because I don't just like write things down and read answers to the things that you wrote down, because as you said, you will just forget immediately. But it's a lot of text, bro. It's a lot of things to remember. That's the problem with aviation. If you come in like me, okay, with literally zero background, there is an infinite pool of questions that could be asked. And I feel if you get the right questions for you, you're suddenly gonna feel like a god gamer and you can answer everything, you know? But if you get the wrong questions for you, suddenly you know nothing and you feel like an absolute dog. It's like crazy. If luck is also a skill, I have no hope, dude. I'm hopeless, bro. It's over. It is so over. Anyway, guys, it was just a quick practice session. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. As I said, I'll be gone next week until Friday evening. So I'll be back on probably Saturday for a short stream. But yeah, like, I'm not going to be around much next week. And then the week after should be normal stuff again. I'm just waiting for a lot of pieces to move right now. Waiting for a lot of answers from a lot of different entities. So hopefully things are going to pick up soon. I'm also trying to figure out which diploma or degree to pursue right now. So I'm checking out certain unis and polytechnics. But as I said, lots of moving pieces. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna find out what I need to know. But eventually I will. Hell yeah. Alright then, guys. I wish you a good rest of your day. No, it's just for leisure this time. Because I've never been to Taiwan. So I'm going to Taiwan for 4 days. Just to kind of check out how it is. It's like the only Asian country I haven't been to. Taiwan. If I came to Thailand, you would be the first person to know, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to not overwhelm myself mentally with things I can't influence. But yeah, you know how life is. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys all soon. Thank you again. I wish you a good rest of your day and a good week ahead of you. I will catch up with you then. Bye-bye. And take care and enjoy some Monster Hunter if you're playing it. See you. Bye-bye. Oh, I forgot to put on the camera. Sorry about that. Here. Hello. I'm right here. It's not an AI. I'm real. Hello, guys. Take my heart. And I wish you a good time. Bye-bye.